Hey everybody, Toray here. Another episode of Cawfee Tawk. Of course, we got Hal, we got Danny, Nalagag, and Smurv.
I'm here, finally.
Yay, Smearv!
So, we're gonna skip the whole part what's been going on with our week this time. Because
Wow.
none of us have anything exciting. So,
Not really.
No.
Not really.
But we're just gonna take a few moments of silence for today's event. Well, not event. That's horrible saying.
Yeah, that's
But
a horrible thing.
14 years ago, we had 9/11 happen, and we're just gonna take a moment of silence, just to pay our respects. Okay, so we are gonna just briefly talk about, we don't want to take 9/11. I know it's a big thing, but we don't want to take a big chunk of the portion, because honestly, this could be a whole show with the 9/11. But we're just gonna briefly discuss what were you doing that day when it happened. I'm gonna start off with Hal. Go ahead.
Well, I would have been in the third grade, I think. It was music class, I remember it. Music
Third
class.
grade.
We were sitting on those, I don't know if you've ever had those in your classrooms, like the music class had like the giant, different colored steps.
Yes.
Anyway, there's different colored steps and stuff. We were sitting on them, and all of a sudden, over the PA system, our principal goes, please, would all teachers turn the channel to blah 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 channel on your TV and allow the kids to see one of the most devastating terrorist attacks that's ever happened in the face of U.S. history.
Wow, you actually had the kids watching the TV and watching it happen?
Yep. And of course, we're like, what? We're like fucking young, so we're like, oh no, the building falling is going to cause a tremor that is reaching all the way over here, and all the stuff in our world's going to collapse and shit. So it was stupid shit like that for us, but we didn't grab a context of what was going on until way after, when we were older. But we got sent home early from school and stuff, and a whole bunch of stuff, and I can see now why they did it. At the time, I didn't have any clue why they would send us home when it's not something that affects us. But they didn't know where that other plane was for quite a while, right? So
yeah, I mean, everyone was in fear because they didn't know if there were more planes out there, and
yeah, they didn't know if there was another plane around or something else was going to happen. Like, you don't just have an attack on a giant trade center and a Pentagon happen a couple hours or a couple minutes from each other and expect no one to panic. So that's where I was, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was so weird for us to experience that.
Danny?
I was actually at work in a five-story building doing customer service for UPS, and things got so crazy that they actually temporarily evacuated us to the bottom floor because just like y'all said, they were worried about that missing plane or whatever.
Right.
And that's all I pretty much remember was and then hearing about it, and I was like, huh. And it wasn't until I got home after my shift that my dad said, yeah, this happened, and they were showing the thing for the upteenth billionth time. Excuse me. So, yeah, it was like, oh, we're in a tower. We better get to the ground, and that's what we did for like about a couple hours.
Yeah, they were playing that thing forever too. It was on every station here too.
Nalagag, how about you? You're overseas, but what were you doing?
Well, the incident happened like afternoon somewhere, like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I don't exactly know the time, so I wasn't in school or work. I was just sitting home, probably playing on the PlayStation 2 at that time. I don't vaguely remember what happened. It was like a few years ago. I was in second grade.
pretty much. Yeah, thanks for making me feel old now, Gag.
I know, seriously, me too. Smurv, what were you doing?
I was sleeping. No, seriously though, I was staying with some people in a town that I hate. Luckily, I'm out of that situation now. But I was 21. Um, I remember vaguely the people I was staying with. I want to say roommate, but they were a married couple that I was staying with.
So
I
you're a
wouldn't really call them
swinger.
No. Um, I can't stand those people. Don't even joke about that. Ugh. Anyway, um, so I was staying with them for a while, and they woke me up. I mean, at the time I didn't hate them, but they woke me up and said, "Come watch TV." And I'm like, "Dude, why are you waking me up to watch TV?" They didn't even tell me what was happening. They just said, "You need to come watch this." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So I get up and I go out there, and the first tower had already been hit, and they're talking about it. Was this an accident? Was this what they didn't know for sure at the time because it was probably like 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, maybe like 10 minutes after the first plane had hit, and then they're sitting there talking, whatever, and then we were talking amongst each other like, what's going on, what's happening? Oh, it's just an accident. We didn't think too much about terror because we didn't even that wasn't in anybody's mind. That wasn't
Terror
in,
wasn't a thing back then.
yeah, we did. I mean, we knew that it existed in other countries. Like stuff like that would happen, but in our country, we just thought maybe a plane had crashed into the tower by mistake or whatever. We didn't. That's what we were assuming. And then while they were playing it, the live footage, showing the tower burning, you can see the other plane hit it, and we're just like, okay, now we know for sure that this is not an accident. And then they were talking about it, and that's where I was when it first. So I was about 10 to 15 minutes after it first happened. That's when they called me and woke me up and said, "Hey, come watch this." And that's where it was. That's what happened.
Eagle has landed.
Damn, you tour?
Oh, with me, I got the most I had the story to tell you because it was like beyond. I was working at a school, maybe about 2 miles away from the actual spot.
Yeah.
I worked at a school, so when it happened, we had to everyone ran to the faculty room. We put on the television and we were watching it. And when I went outside, I was right next to the FDR highway, like half a foot away from the highway. The highway was closed down, and all you saw was NYPD police cars and fire trucks and ambulances all rushing down the highway. It was the most scariest feeling. But the part of my story that is the freakiest goes towards my wife. She worked in Brooklyn, but she had the view right across the river of the World Trade Center. So she, with her own eye view, she saw everything. Every plane hit. She saw the buildings go down. She was in tears on the phone with me, telling me that she couldn't believe it happened. It was crazy. I actually saw it wasn't like a lot of smoke, but you could see the smoke pushing its way to the upper part of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And the part that's the creepiest, that even right now I'm talking about it, gives me chills, was the next morning. I cannot describe the smell of death. Even right now I'm shaking when I'm saying this, but the smell of death, you could just smell it. It was such a horror that it was undescribable. But that smell, I can smell it right now. Like waking up in the morning, I'm seeing pieces of paper in Brooklyn from Manhattan still flying in the streets in Brooklyn. It was just horrible.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man.
So
sulfur is not a good smell.
I was so let's move out of that subject because it's really,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it. Cause oh boy, watch out, Sally! When I have some of that tequila.
Watch out, Sally! Woo wee! We gotta link that to Smurf, that video. Cause
You're gonna have to, because I don't know what you're talking about. So I kind of just chuckled because you guys laughed.
On my birthday. That's it. On my birthday. It's a PSA for guy not that he's been clean from doing PSA, but from being so positive, he goes to it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, you link that to me once the show's over.
Yeah, we'll link it to you. It's a public service announcement about a guy who's like, I don't freebase cocaine anymore, but he's like, I do take a couple drinks now and then. And he's like, he keeps going on about it.
And it gets
It
worse
was
and worse.
hilarious.
All right,
But we're gonna move on to our next topic, I think.
this one was brought to me by Hal a few minutes, well, about 10, 15 minutes before we started this. And it is such a shocker. I cannot believe this. Hal, I want you to introduce this topic to us because it is just mind-blowing how it's going to fuck up everybody. I'm sorry for using the F-bomb, but it's going to ruin YouTube completely. And yeah, go ahead.
Well, this isn't the first case of this happening by any means. It's happened before, whether we all want to believe it or not. But there was an article from Game Breaker, I believe, was the source material. I'm just going to really quickly double check it as I'm talking here. But Game Breaker released an article on a YouTuber. We do not know the YouTuber's name. We don't know their channel name. We don't know anything about who this person was. But there was a post on Reddit pertaining to an individual who, from a game company, from a public relations part of the game company, that asked a YouTuber with a couple million subscribers if they would like access to this new game that they're making and if they would feature it on their channel to kind of get the hype train moving on it. And that person said, oh yeah, sure, but I would like $22,000 up front for doing it. And as soon as I read that, I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it, and I read further, they're like, well, I can talk about it in a video for 2 to 3 points of talk time, and I'll only request $17,600. But if you want a link in the description for your game, you're going to have to toss in an extra $5,400. That's sick. And I don't agree with it, but it's not my time to talk about it yet. Let's see what you guys think about it. What do you guys think when you hear that?
Go ahead, Daddy. You're next. What do you think?
Give me 1 second.
He's like, how can I get into this?
How can I get into this?
I'll give you my thoughts before Danny if he needs a
Go
moment.
ahead.
Okay, I understand and I can kind of see where the YouTuber's going with this. Everybody who is going to do something for another company, they want to get their money. I mean, if that's their job, that's understandable. However, if they've got 2, 3, 4, 5 million subscribers, they're going to get ad revenue off of YouTube and enough money to live off of if that's what they're doing. So I don't see if a game company comes to them and asks them, hey, can we'd like you to feature our game. You can talk about it, whatever. Go ahead and get early access, all that good stuff. I don't see a problem with asking for money, but it's ridiculous to go to that point where you're going to ask for that kind of money. If the company tells you, no, we can't offer any money, but we'll, give you free game, the game for free, you can do it as much as you want on your channel, blah, 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 other stipulations, we just can't give you any money for it, then I can see, hey, yeah, let's make a deal, whatever. But people already make these YouTubers that they're going to are obviously already pretty financially stable with what they're doing because game companies aren't usually going to go to YouTubers such as yourself or myself, with 200, 300, 3,000, 5,000 subscribers because they're not going to get any views off of it and it wouldn't benefit them at all.
Wait, I have 5,000 subscribers?
Well, you and me and whatever, you see what I'm saying.
He's basically saying
subscribers all of us that don't make money off of YouTube, and if we do make money off of YouTube, it's $20 to $30 here and there. If that. So, if a game company came to me and asked me, hey, do you want to feature one of your games on, we don't have any money because, we're indie game company, we just want to get our game promoted and we can't pay you anything, we can give you in-game currency or extra skins or whatever for doing it, and I'll be more than happy to jump on that. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. If I like the game, even if I don't like the game, I'll still promote it, whatever. But these people that are already making money off of the views, off of the ad revenue, off of other game deals, whatever, to upfront say, yeah, you're going to have to give me this kind of money, otherwise I'm not going to do it. It just seems a little bit pompous, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
It's a 5-figure check basically to do a
One
game
for 3 or 4 minute video. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. Don't, hey, you're already making money. Why are you asking, whatever? I don't see that as being a legitimate way of doing business with a game company to promote your stuff. You're already making money off of it. There's no need to get another 5-figure check from the company that probably doesn't have that kind of money to begin with.
and are letting you have your game for free.
Letting you have the game for free earlier than anybody else.
And not get a copyright.
And then, it seems a little stupid.
It is stupid.
Dan, your thought?
I would like to have something like that for a few minutes work every so often. I mean, heck, that's almost half of my yearly pay. I would love to make that in a couple of months.
Yeah. This is just one video, though, Dan. This is one video. And you gotta factor in the fact that they are getting unlimited use to the, they're not asking for the revenue share either. They're just saying, hey, look, promote our game, make a video on it. You get your revenue share, and we'll give you access to the game.
They're still making the money from the avenue.
Cake and eating too.
Yeah.
With icing.
With icing and a couple of scoops of ice cream and some chocolate syrup.
Served by a French hooker. Like, this is nuts.
No, French maid.
Hooker, yeah.
No, French maid.
Maid, hooker, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
but wind up dead.
At any rate, go ahead.
Go ahead, Danny.
It smacks of greed. Because like Smurf said, I mean, they're going to establish YouTubers who obviously are already making more than enough for them to enough to survive on them. And granted, with YouTube being YouTube, and that's all I'm going to say on that before getting on a soapbox. Being what it is, those guys are still there. They get that nice little silver or gold or platinum or diamond YouTube symbol thing that's hanging on their wall and stuff, and they're able to get into movies and whatnot and all that. But asking for that much money for a 5-minute video, I mean, man, that's
even for me, even asking for any kind of money when a game company approaches you. Now, I can understand for me, like, hey, we'd like you to promote this game. Well, I don't really have any views. Is there any way you can supplement my income with a couple of $100 to do it for you? I could see that, but these people are already making thousands of dollars a month off their YouTube channels. Why are you asking for chump change in your eyes? Is pretty much chump change to do something you would have already done and made money off of it anyway.
Yeah,
it's tips. That's what it is.
They're just children that can't seem to handle their money properly, and they want more. It's greed, like Danny said. It's greed.
Total greed.
What did you say, Now? You chimed in?
Your thoughts on this now?
It sounds pretty much to me to just want some extra tips towards it. It's like how I feel like with a couple of Twitch streamers as well, with the whole subscriber thing and donations and the ad revenue. I'm not going to mention names of exactly what I'm talking about, but when they have basically set it to only subscriber only type of deal, and then they expect you to watch like ad revenue and such to give even more money, it's kind of like how that feels. They already have an income, but then they keep asking for more money.
Yeah, it's a fucked up situation. I don't like it at all. There's only one good thing that can come out of it, and I'll tell you when it comes my turn.
My thoughts on it is more of a severe thought. These gamer companies all of them are gonna be like, hey, you know what? I don't want anyone else doing my videos. If you're gonna become greedy, you know what? All these companies are gonna be like, that's it. You put a video up on of me, they're gonna be like Nintendo. You put a video, I'm automatically gonna flag it.
Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
Nintendo has that no nonsense policy where you put up anything Nintendo, it will get flagged. Not copyrighted, flagged with the big red flag on YouTube that doesn't come off for a few months.
As in, it could jeopardize your account.
Yeah,
and that's bad if you're a higher rated subscribe like a YouTuber, like a big YouTuber.
Just throwing this in there, it's kind of funny. 2 years ago, I posted a video of a Blizzard. It was a Blizzard in one of those in-game, or either that or the trailer or something. I don't remember what the something king. Anyway, they just today they flagged it. It was the flag was by Blizzard.
Fight it because they've had it's YouTube's end is automatically flagging things on people's videos.
The video was actually 2 years ago. It had 270 views. I just took the thing down. I'm not even going to worry about it. It doesn't get any views to begin with. I don't make any money off of it. I'm not even worried about it.
I suppose now. I mean, but
if it was a recent video that I put out like 2 days ago and it was still getting views, then I would fight it. But this thing was 2.5 years ago. I'm not even worried about it. But anyway, back on topic.
Hal, do you want to end this one up? This topic?
Yeah. Well, how do you feel on it? You already said how you feel.
Yeah, I already said basically it's going to screw up everybody because these companies are going to get fed up from the greed and then flag everything. You're not allowed to use my content, or what if they have like a big game, a game that blows up, that is like the best game in the world, and you screwed them over, and they're like, all right, no one can use it.
Yeah, if YouTubers have this in their YouTube, we're just gonna flag it like instantly. So, but I am in the other sense that it could have some good come out of it, and the good that could come out of it is they start seeing that these people with multi-millions and fucking millions of subscribers, they can see that, yeah, they're getting a lot of views, but their audience and them are such a vile, in a vile sense, that maybe, just maybe, they'll be like, well, instead of giving it to one big YouTuber, why don't we give it to like 10 really small YouTubers?
I mean,
see, that's another thing. I actually agree with you on that. I don't know if it's gonna I don't know if that's gonna come about because of this. It might. You never know.
It's a step towards
a gaming company should take a step back and think, okay, we get a gazillion views from this YouTuber,
channel, yeah,
this YouTuber because they're so popular. What if we give the game to like 100 smaller YouTubers? We'll probably get the same amount of views. You know, the viewership or whatever, it'll get out there, and it'll help them out. We won't have to pay them a red cent. Maybe give them a couple of in-game stuff if it's like a free-to-play game or something, and you can get some perks.
Give me a freaking T-shirt. I'll be happy.
Even that, like,
I got an Ando and Friends one ready for you if you want.
But I definitely think that would be a good step the game companies should start thinking about. Not just because I'm greedy and I want the game, but
yeah, I agree with it. I mean, it sucks that YouTube, like the bigger YouTubers, are gonna maybe ruin this for everybody. But at the same time, I think that these game companies are gonna start saying, "Hey, we got to start looking at these little YouTubers. These little YouTubers, they're willing to promote our game for free. Most of them. I don't know about you, but every game I put on my channel is basically a free promotion for that game. I don't really make too much off of it.
I mean,
like
that's what I do. I mean, I don't have monetization. Well, I don't monetize my channel at all because I want to provide a commercial-free environment. So, heck, some company wants to come to me and say, you know, hey, we here's a game. You know, can you make us a couple of videos? And I'll say, sure. Got any swag that you can give me also? You know, just in case. You know.
Yeah, like that's how you do it. It's
you don't have to give me money. I want a T-shirt and a wristband and maybe some in-game gold or something.
Yeah, you know,
I'll be
vinyl
happy.
pop figure of the main character or something. I don't know. You know,
like
just
a Hooters girl. Send me a Hooters girl. Like if you really want to. Like seriously, it's they're fucking themselves over, and that's what's gonna happen. All these big YouTubers.
Let's move on to the next topic. Next topic was a shocker. I did not even. Once again, Hal came up to me. He's like, "Did you hear what happened to Method?" I was like, "No, what happened? They broke up." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Well, Hal, once again, you brought up this topic. I'm gonna let you talk about this because you basically brought up, and I'll chime in.
I didn't even know it happened.
Well, first of all, let me chime in here. What or who is Method? Okay,
see, that's the other thing. A lot of people don't know who Method is, even though they're a big gaming.
They were the number one rating guild in WoW for like a few years straight.
Oh, okay, that explains why I don't know.
Because you don't like WoW anymore.
No, I like WoW. I just don't.
I'm gonna go level up a guy in your server.
If a guild doesn't pertain to me, or I'm not in it, or I don't know, or a friend of mine's not in it, I really
Yeah.
don't keep up with that stuff.
A lot of people don't do that. Anyway, I was sitting here last night. Me and Nalgag just got done streaming. We were just chilling here, and then he went to bed, and I'm like, well, I want to go to bed, but I want to watch something first. So I happened to turn on Towley. I went on and watched Towley. He was doing Mythic Progression on Manaroth. And he goes, yeah, I mean, maybe I can apply for the new spots in Method. And I'm like, what? Like, what happened to Method? I had said on the channel, I'm like, what happened to Method? And everyone's like, are you living under a rock? Did you not know what happened to them? I'm like, I don't know what happened. What happened?
Is that like, haven't you heard?
Yeah, it's like, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, Method broke up. And I'm like, what? Like, they're a world first guild, and they've claimed, like, world first titles every fucking place. They just got into esports and stuff. Like, I thought they were doing pretty good. And I guess they ended up breaking up due to, what is it? It said something like, it had lack of guilds leadership was one of them.
Hardcore rating is not the same.
Hardcore
and
rating.
They're hardcore raiders.
Hardcore rating was in a decline, I guess. They couldn't get their members to actually get together and talk or do anything.
They're one of those guilds, and I am anti one of those guilds because I try not to form one of those guilds. They're the type of guild that only show up for raid nights, and then that's it.
Yeah, the Motaroiha.
They don't do anything.
Oh, La
else.
Stila Hila.
La Stila Hila. Yes, but they don't have like a couple of times during the week. You know, they get together, run some old stuff, have some fun, just PvP or relax. You know, help other people leveling up. And they don't have that. They just raid time on, raid time off. The rest of the week they don't.
Yeah, and it's like lack of leadership, lack of guild function. Apparently some people have changed their minds that wanting to be world first was less important now, and all this stuff. And basically what it looked like to me was some of their raid team didn't like what was going on, and they kind of just left.
Okay.
But the other interesting thing is that two people from Midwinter, one of their rival guilds that they were going for world first against, Midwinter's lost two of their main people because they went and joined the new guild that Method's old raiders made. And
one
they
is a
made
big-time Twitch streamer, which is Sloopbag.
Yep.
He's a big-time Twitch. He's one of the... He does a lot of the PTR. Every time I see him, he's doing PTR streaming of raids.
Yeah.
But he's pretty big. He has a lot of numbers.
He has a lot of pull on Twitch and stuff, and like all these people they do stream and Twitch and stuff, but Midwinter's guy he's like one of their main guys. He's the reason their guild's so popular. And him and another guy from Midwinter just up and left and went and joined the new guild that the people from Method made, which is they're naming it Serenity, I guess.
Nice name.
And they're gonna go against the remaining people in Method because apparently Method's gonna rebuild again. I don't see them rebuilding their WoW stuff. I think they should just kind of focus on their esports stuff. Like they have a LoL team, and they have a Heroes team, and they have like all the MOBAs covered.
Over her still.
Oh, I don't know.
So something's got to be going on if one of the biggest guilds broke up. I mean, something's in the Blizzard. Something's going on. Like they're making it a little too much for casuals. That the higher ups are breaking up, or
I think it's just Blizzard's way of because you remember there was a whole what was it? You brought it up. There was a whole big discussion on how the Raiders said, why the fuck do we have to go around and do all these quests and stuff to get flying?
Right. They think they're privileged enough because they're hardcore mythic raiders and all that they don't, they should get their flying handed to them and they shouldn't have to work for their flying.
Blizzard's response to them was, if you have time to hardcore raid, you have time to go out and do some quests to get your flying.
Yeah.
And that was that. And I
Heaven
think
forbid
after
somebody
that,
actually play the game.
and I think after that, they kind of just were like, well, we don't want to play anymore because we're not getting treated like royalty anymore. And they are, because they get flown to all these events and stuff, like the Method live raids and stuff. That team of people that come out and live raid in front of everybody in the audience,
At
they are
BlizzCon and all that,
They
GameCon,
are-
Dragon Con,
they are fucking like flown there.
hotel.
Hotels, all their meals are covered. They're getting comp for their time. Like it's
Not
fucked.
including the swag they get.
And they get a bunch of swag too. Yeah. So I mean, sign me up for that. I'll hardcore raid in front of an audience if you really want me to.
All right, so let's just move past
Yeah, 'cause-
egotistical people because it's not really our style.
Yeah, it's not. It's
We're just
sad thing.
we're just filthy casuals.
Like casuals.
Yeah, it's a sad thing for them, the people that actually did, like the guild and stuff. But I mean, lack of leadership and lack of communication just ends a guild.
I mean, you got to have a strong leader.
Toray.
I'm not the best leader, but I am there all the time. I'm always on. I'm always helpful. I try to do my best. Hey, I'm going on 12 years running the guild since 2005. So that's 10 years.
You guys haven't really broken up, have you?
2005, so that's 10, 11 years, almost 11 years. So no, we never broken up. We came close in Kata. It came close at that time. No, it was Lich King.
I guess
I thought
maybe
it was Kata.
I'm not really big on knowing about these kind of things. I really don't care, really. I mean, it's nice to know, but so I'm not felt like I'm out of the loop. But it's not something that I really pay attention to. But my two cents worth of thought here is, if you are going to be a hardcore guild, whatever, that's what you do. You have the hardcore players that are all going to be part of the guild. But if you don't do anything but raid and get off, to me, it seems like,
Good job.
for my opinion, if that was, if I was doing that, I'd get bored of it really, really quick and want to leave.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that happens. I mean, if you're a hardcore raider, you won't bore of it as quickly, because that's not your style. Your style is to be in, and that's all you do. But I mean, there's got to be a point in time where you just say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And so, when one person, maybe it was the guild leader that was like that. I don't know. I'm not reading into it, but what it boils down to is it was bound to happen, whether now or later. It's bound to happen.
Well, think of it. All right, a raid opens on, let's say, June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
They can automatically do heroic. So by the end of the week, they have cleared the whole raid. I'm talking about the hardcore guilds. First week, and then in the week after, Mythic comes out, and then you cleared that. That leaves like 2 or 3 months
Of doing nothing.
nothing.
Of farm content for them is what that is. That's 2 or 3 months of farm content.
Even, you run it a few times, those type of hardcore guilds won't have the time to run other people.
No. That's why they're the hardcore guild.
They're like, oh, I don't want to do heroic to run these people. I got things to do. We hardcore rated, and that's it. So, those type of guilds, they don't last long. I mean,
some last longer than others, yes, but
they all fade out eventually.
They eventually fade out, and even if you're the top guild, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I was telling Tor before when they said, "Oh, go ahead."
I was going to say, put some more fun into your gaming. You might last longer.
Yes.
Just because your whole guild's not on and it's not raid night doesn't mean you can't log in and run another guildie that maybe isn't all the way up there, or do something together with a friend or something. Clear older content that you may have missed, or that you just want to do for nostalgic reasons. You might last longer.
Roll Alliance tunes on Storm Rage. I mean, it happens.
Go to
Goldshire on one of those. Go to Goldshire on one of those sex servers.
Pick up a whore on Moonguard.
Yeah, on Moonguard. Go there and do one of those sex servers, and you might have a little more fun.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Adventure mode coming to WoW. It's been in rumors, and it's
patent pending.
But Hal and I were talking about, and I brought up the topic that if any of us have played Rift, they have adventure mode there too, and their version of adventure mode is basically they have a zone, and
it's a raid quest content.
You just run from you run from zone to zone, and automatically, if you're in that zone, the quest automatically appears, and you can complete it there. You don't have to pick up a quest, and it tells you to kill so and so this much, kill this, this, and this, and then you move on to another section, kill more stuff, and it's another way of leveling up without questing.
Pretty much the bonus.
Well, you're questing if the quest
It's
pops
like the bonus. Exactly, like the bonus areas. But in a zone, and you just run back and forth, and you can leave whenever you want. You don't need a healer. You don't need a tank. It's just whoever gets there. Boom, you knock it out. And you can just level by doing that.
Yep.
So we're thinking about that. What are your thoughts on them bringing something like that in here? How?
I'm all for. Oh hell. Okay.
Go ahead, Smart. Go ahead, Smart.
Yeah, go Smurf.
I'm all for them adding stuff to the leveling experience, because as you know, when each time expansion comes out, well, not each time, but whenever they do a level increase, it just makes it that much longer to level. And having something that's different in the game will add to it. You'll see a lot more alts being rolled. It'll definitely bring me back more into the game, because that was my favorite thing, is to level. And as it is now, it's still my favorite thing to do, but it's not as exciting as it was back just a year ago. So adding something different to the leveling process, and I'm not talking about like, oh, let's do battleground leveling or let's do instance leveling. That's been done. It's been done millions of times. But something completely different, like you're talking about, would definitely be a really cool addition, in my opinion. Anything at all that would, focus on a different way to level.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm all for it.
It's something that would be really good to bring into this, to the game. I'm gonna go ahead and take my turn now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just taking my turn now. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that I don't think it's gonna be anything like D3. I don't think we're gonna see the Rift one. I'm more in favor of like a boss rush mode. Like, you're in an area. You're in an area. They have, let's say, 7 sets of trash and 5 bosses. You and a group of random people who aren't your personal class.
With level scaling.
Yeah, with level scaling. Come into a group. And your goal is to clear all that trash and the bosses in, I don't know, let's say an hour. And then you just go and boss rush. And if you defeat those set bosses, those bosses will drop an item that says it gives you such and such an amount of experience. Here's 10% experience.
Isn't that very similar to world bosses to begin with? It seems like it would be a lot.
It's not because on that scale, I mean, it's like when
it's
I
similar.
say you're in an area.
It's similar though.
When I say you're in an area, you queue into this thing. It pops you into a random area around the world. You don't know where it's like what area.
I see what you're saying.
So you could be fighting in Hillsbrad, or you could be fighting in the Hinterlands. Hinterlands.
Swallow a fly?
No, I said Hinterland.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I hate that fucking place. Or you could be like stuck in Northrend outside of the Lich King's castle or something like that. Like, it's all random spots. But there's a couple bosses around, and they like drop a thing that says, "Oh, you completed this boss, so that's 10% experience. Here's your 10% experience when you get out of the thing."
I can see that as being as I would probably like to experience that. What I'm looking for is a completely, you go from zone to zone, not having to do any quests, but there's activities to do in that zone, similar to the what was that, the bonus objectives, but it doesn't have to be like that. It's just maybe there's an area where you have to clear mobs, okay, for one thing, and X amount of but then there's another place where you have to clear a boss, or there's another area where you have to, and it's always there. Once you take it down, maybe it'll take a little bit of time to respawn, but I mean, I'm not good at coming up with ideas, but anything that would require you to be, you don't have to pop into another zone. It's always there. And and it doesn't aggro you, or you don't aggro it just by walking next to it. It's yellow or something. The only way you can start the event is by actually engaging in whatever it is. That way, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to worry about it attacking you. Something like that.
Yeah, I see that idea is good, and I like it, and it just brain blasted me an idea for if it was someone getting a phone call. It brain blasted me an idea of if someone was doing it for the Legion expansion. You know how they say that the Legion's invading for this expansion that's coming up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's let's say Goldshire is on fire. Like, there's a whole bunch of demons in the area. They send 10 adventurers into that area to clean it out in an adventure mode. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Anything
So
like that
you
too.
have-
But I
like
want it to be, you know, you're level 6 and you're supposed to be questing in the Goldshire area.
I mean,
So
they're
that's what
obviously
you're
going to
do.
make it.
But not
15.
that's or whatever the level for that zone is. That's your level. You're questing there, and all of a sudden something pops up, and they want you to go do it. You don't have to queue for it or nothing. You just go to that area and start doing it with all the other people that are doing it.
So it's like the bonus objectives, really.
It's very similar to the bonus objectives. In fact, that's probably what it is, but it's not always there. It just randomly pops up, or it can always be there, and you can go there and do it. However they would be able to work it, but it's just there's no phasing. It's there.
Almost like in Rift. A rift has opened. Everyone, we must close it.
I want to
run and close it.
That's exactly. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, that's exactly what I would like to see.
Yeah, so Smear's idea is like,
the Legion is attacking this town. We
the
must
Legion is
defend
attacking
it.
this town, but it's not always there. It's like, I could go by Ice Crown. There's nothing there. I could go over on the Ice Crown Citadel is under siege or whatever that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I'd like that.
I think anything to increase the playability of the game is a plus.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan of questing because I like story, and the quests are the only ways right now that Blizzard tells the story. So it'll be interesting to see what this quote adventure mode actually entails, as far as what you're actually doing, how you're leveling, and how you're progressing the game.
I hope it's an actual thing. I hope it's not just rumors.
Exactly.
Because that would be excellent. And I agree with Unholy. I don't want it to be a max level thing. I think it's a leveling up thing that you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Unholy's talking to you now?
Yeah, he's not bad at me anymore.
I don't want it to be we have enough stuff. To me, in my opinion, we have enough stuff, in-game stuff. Excuse me, to keep people busy.
Oh, I think you're wrong.
There could be more. There could be more. I'm not saying. Okay, I guess I was saying there was enough, but there isn't. There could be more, but I'd like to see more in the leveling area.
Nalagag, what do you think?
I really don't have any comments on it. Honestly, what I think is going to be kind of like a D3 thing kind of deal. It's like, instead of actual quests, it's mainly just going to be bounties. Either they're going to recreate the worlds, or just going to make a complete new separate thing for it.
I think if they were going to do anything, they'd phase it.
Yeah, of course. Like, kind of like the difference between like doing acts or doing bounties in D3.
Yeah.
My thoughts on this, I agree. I love the whole idea of adventure mode. But before, when Hal originally told me about that, something flashed into my head. I'm gonna miss the old times of taking somebody through ramparts and mass pulling because they wanted the XP. Those days are gonna be long gone.
They're already
gone now.
semi-gone.
They're gone now.
They're pretty much gone now, but remember the videos of Hobbs mass pulling and people just dinging one after another? Those don't happen anymore.
I want to see that too. Where
Or
you help
Thor
others.
or Thor leaving Hal on top of a mountain.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, that
No,
still
I-
happens. I dropped them in front of with the Alliance area in Zen Jungle. I dropped them.
He did it to me because of you.
Paying it forward.
Yeah.
I figured paying it forward was the best thing to do. I mean,
He ended up getting himself killed and that got away.
So that's that's just I missed that.
I missed that too. It was fun watching those videos, and that's why you don't see Hobbs making WoW content anymore. It's all Hearthstone too.
That's
And I love his Hearthstone. Just to say that, I love his Hearthstone videos.
Also do I.
It's way better. It's way better than watching these elitists do the same thing over and over again. Hobbs is constantly making a new deck, revamping the ones he has, putting together his own combos, and it's just wow, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Hey, I would watch Nalagag more if he was less elitist. I think, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're an elitist, that's your thing. I'm not dogging you, but for my entertainment value, I like watching the randoms, the YOLO decks, if you will,
YOLO decks.
the fun decks.
I just play to have fun and I do it my way. Or
And you
get out.
you were watching me you were watching me earlier on the Hearthstone Nalagag. That deck
Yeah.
I kind of copied one of Hobbs' decks, but you can't really copy his decks because they're always changing anyway. But then I added my own bit of flair to it, and if it wins, it wins big. If it loses, it's pretty bad.
That's like that Hunter deck.
It's like my
Yeah.
Wind Fury deck.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on to the next topic.
I think this is our last one, right?
Yeah, I got two other things I want to add, but
Okay.
they're very quick. But,
Do you want to do those first?
Yeah.
Do those first, and then we'll
Okay.
we'll crush the other thing. Yeah.
First thing is, has anyone paid attention to? I'm not much of a Pokemon person, but I think this is awesome. The Pokemon Go app.
Oh, the
skippy.
fucking phone thing. I saw the
Oh
trailer.
my god! You pick up your phone and you can see a Pokemon in real life hiding somewhere, and you can actually capture it.
This thing, that's the fucking Google Map shit all over again.
It's awesome.
I haven't heard about this.
I'm
Is it out
actually-
now or?
No, not yet.
No.
But-
2016 is the
I'd be willing to give it.
approximate date.
I'd be willing. So you're on your. Let me ask.
You
You're
open
on
up
your
your camera.
the camera. Yeah.
It accesses a camera, and then where you normally would see like maybe a building, you'll see a little Pokemon hanging out in that little section, and you go and try to capture him. Where
A giant dragon.
a giant dragon hanging out in front of a building. Don't you guys see the dragon? It's right there, man.
I was gonna say all this is gonna be is a bunch of people get locked up for seeing dragons and shit.
They're like, you're on LSD.
If I
man.
do it, I'll do it in my own home.
Dude, did you see that dragon that went across the room?
I think they said
Smurf-
like if you
Don't
go
be dissing
around
the
the
Pokemon,
world,
man.
you see like more Pokemons.
If you
Oh
would.
yeah. It's like that other thing. It's the Google Map thing. It's like if your friends are on Google Map looking at things, you can see all their Pokemon that they've seen and all this
Well,
shit.
if you
It's
guys
like,
ever played Ingress, it's a lot like that.
Never heard.
Ingress is basically people will submit pictures and they become these portals, and there's these two factions fighting over these portals, and anything.
I
can be
used
a
to have
portal.
one of those things.
Anything could be a portal, like a chair. Someone can set a picture, and that could be a portal, and you got to capture it, defend it. If I'm the opposite faction, I could attack it, and then make it my portal, and you gain levels from it. And leveling up is very, very hard in this game. I'm only almost level 6, and I've
What's
been
it called?
playing for over a year. Ingress. INGRESS.
Let me check it real quick. Ingress.
Is that an app?
It's an app,
It is
right?
an app. Yes.
Okay, so the
It's
thing
very
I was
addictive.
thinking of,
I love it.
There was something way back in the day. You'd buy these like little like binocular looking things, and you could scan. It had like QR codes on everything. Like if you went and scanned a box of cereal, there's a monster hiding in that code.
Remember that was like freaking the CD game on the Genesis or the CD player. Monster Rancher.
Kind of like Monster Rancher. Yeah.
I want to say Monster Rancher. You take every CD, popped in a different monster. So I'm running around. Make me a music CD. I gotta give me a CDs. Give me. I'm popping them in, getting all these different monsters.
Okay, so I'm downloading Ingress now to take a look at it so I can see what that's all about.
It's really
So
good.
Tor's like gonna be like tweaking out. I need some fucking CDs, man.
It's kind of like a scan game you could buy like years ago. You guys didn't even know about that. You know, a little scan thingy on like
Yeah,
objects.
That was the thing I was talking about. You would like scan a box of Fruit Loops or something. It's like, oh shit, there was a little monster hiding in that.
Yeah, I used to play that when I was a
Fuck are
kid.
you?
Yeah, you Got to watch out for those, those monsters in the Fruit Loops.
The next topic I want to bring in would be my last topic, and I know Danny might be interested in this. Star Wars is having their own loot crate. Ooh. Every 2 months, if you go to StarWars.com, it's
I
called
saw
the
that.
Bounty Crate. I saw it on IGN, and I subbed for it because
Smuggler's Bounty.
Smuggler's Bounty. And every 2 months, you get a box, and it's a $50 value, and it's It's not stuff that you're gonna get anywhere else. It's just exclusive to this bounty, and you get it. It could be like the first one is gonna be those pop heads. 2 exclusive ones. No one else will get it from the movie Force Awakens that you can't get anywhere else. So these are exclusive items that no one else will be able to get. I love it.
We're gonna get Jar Jar Binks as Darth Vader.
Misa, I think you need to use the Force.
Misa wanna take you over there, yeah?
Oh, please.
Misa say you get on your knees and suck my dick.
Alright, so let's get on to the last topic now. And if you go with Ingress, go with the green faction, Smurf. That's a good one.
The green faction?
That's the one you're on?
Yes.
That's the one you're on, is it?
Alright, I'll join it. Does it give you guys points, or how does that work?
It can, but I'm not into that. The stuff like that. Okay. I mean, if it's like a recommend a friend or whatever, refer a friend.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
You just need to click a heroes.
Next topic is our last topic. This one is more of a personal thing. We're gonna talk about your most memorable moment, or least
funny moment, or drama-filled moment.
Yeah, pick at least 2 moments in WoW,
or any other game. It doesn't matter.
Let's open up to any other game that you were just like, wow. And how we're gonna open this one up to you because I think you got 2 of the most best ones so far.
What ones do you want me to do though? Is it the first girl?
The tank has to go.
The tank. Okay, well, the tank. We'll do the tank one and my crazy ex-WoW girlfriend. We'll do that one.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna start off with the crazy ex-WoW girlfriend because it's just the simplest one to get out of the way. So basically, younger Hal, 5-6 years ago, was trying to pick up chicks on WoW.
You never.
No.
Why the fuck wouldn't I? Well, anyway, I did end up picking up a chick. She was a couple of provinces over from me. And I'm not going to say her name because obviously I think she still plays, but let's just call her
Bitch number 1.
Mulva.
We'll call her bitch number 1, like Nal said. So anyway, I'm sitting there talking to her one night, and she's like, "Well, yeah, I think we should try to give this long distance thing a try." And I'm like, okay. So anyway, I go out for a day, and I come back on, and she's like, "Where the hell were you?" I'm like, "I had chores to do. Like, I've got stuff to do, right?" And she's like, "Well, you should tell me when you're going somewhere so I don't worry about you." And I'm like, "I told you this morning I was going somewhere." She goes, "Fine, whatever." So she goes offline and doesn't talk to me for like a day and a half. I come back on. She goes, "Go on webcam. I need to show you what you've done." She carved my fucking name in her arm with a knife.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know how to pick them.
Like right in her her wrist is gashed open, and it's got my fucking name. Like, my real name, because I told her my real name. Needless to say, I immediately closed, I think it was Yahoo at the time, I closed Yahoo and never touched that motherfucker again.
His real name is Enrique Mendoza Montoya.
Yeah.
That's
Steve.
one hell of a cut.
Yeah, that is one hell of a cut. And the other story was...
My favorite.
It was older guild of mine I was in. I still have videos up on the channel of when I was in that guild, so it's no secret what guild it was. Anyway, we were doing Nax progression when it first came out. And I was like one of the tanks, but I was in DPS spec at that time because I didn't want to tank. So, we got a pally tank, and we plugged in a warrior tank. He was a friend of somebody in the guild. This warrior tank, I didn't know at the time, no one knew, was 10 years old. So we got a 10-year-old warrior tank in here, and, obviously he doesn't know anything about his class, because he just had someone level the tune, or he leveled it and never learned it. So, we're in the middle of a fight on 4 horsemen, and all of a sudden, 2 of our healers die. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? He comes out over vent. He goes, oh my god, Powie heal. I have no aggro. In the middle of the raid, he goes, I had no aggro.
And Hal just said, I'm leaving guild.
I'm like, I think my words were, what are you, 10? And I was like, what are you, 12? He goes, no, I'm 10. So we booted him from the raid group, and I went tank spec.
Wow. I have no aggro.
That was his exact words. I have no aggro.
Oh, that's great.
And needless to say, I think we made fun of because he stayed in the guild. We kicked him from the raid group, but he stayed in the guild because he really loved the guild leader. We kicked him from the raid group. He's like in guild, like, why was I getting kicked from the raid group? He's like, Thunder, it wasn't my fault. Powie heals wouldn't let me have aggro.
I thought you were saying thunder. Scare me. Thunder, scare.
Anyway,
I thought he was about to call the Thundercats or something.
All right.
Barney told me to be twins.
but yeah, that's just one of my stories. I have plenty of others I could tell.
Wow, you had a more interesting WoW life than myself.
Danny, you're 2.
Well, I could only think of one.
That's fine.
I was in one of my non-casual stages and was actually in a full raiding guild, and this was one of those hardcore raiding people. And I was doing a pally at a time, and we were facing that death knight that you face once you finish the ship boss. And our guild leader was like, "Okay, whoever gets the first mark, we're just going to let him die. He's going to take one for the team." And so we start the fight and we get to it, and the first mark is cast, and guess who it is?
You.
Hey, Danny.
It's me. So he goes. So somebody calls out, "Pally Danny has first mark." He goes, "Okay, let him die." So I'm like, "Okay," and I'm getting encouragement by one of my friends. He goes, "Danny, do divine shield." And I was like, "Okay." So I did divine shield, and he says, "Okay, do a lay on hands now." And I'm like, so I was just like, trying to do as much DPS as I can as my health was slowly going down.
You were the scapegoat.
So,
but yeah, keep going.
well, that was it. Eventually I died, and then everybody else killed the boss. So I was like, okay.
Really? So you just sat there and let it happen?
What was I supposed to do?
Fight the system.
I did. I was, I was casting every spell I could to keep me alive as long as possible, hoping that we'd kill him
I'm just
before.
interested in what fight that was. Was it Gorefiend and BT?
No, he said it's.
No, this is Lich King.
After the
Lich
loot
King.
boat. After loot boat.
Deathbringer Sourfang.
Sourfang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did that in our guild too.
So, I have to add this one to Danny's because Danny won't. I think this is not really WoW exclusive. Well, that's not WoW, but the whole start of the dead hooker thing with Danny, it's awesome. I don't even remember how it started, but
He's taking it like a champ.
Just the whole dead hook. Oh, because he had a razor blade. He was doing an opening.
No. It was part of it, but it was the razor blade.
It was started because I took a stupid picture while I was installing Skype on my laptop, and then
the
you made a
the picture that he had was.
Yeah,
Yes.
We were like,
I was in a hotel. I was in a
Like in the
hotel,
background there.
and behind me was the queen size or king size bed in the room I was in at the time because I was doing it for my TV or something, or not while I was out of town or something, and then you went off about how it looked like there was a dead hooker behind me.
All right, Nalagag, you're 2.
To be honest, my WoW life is so boring. I frankly do not have a story to tell.
What
Come
about
on
your
now, Gag.
what about your friend with arachnophobia in Nax?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, why don't you do that one?
A little background story. Back in Wrath of the Lich King, in the beginning, there was usually we were 3 friends. There was me, one friend, and another one. And one of my friends had a serious condition of arachnophobia. He was scared shitless of spiders. Even came so badly that at times he was leveling in Wrath, I had to play his tune for him because he was too scared to finish the area.
Blizzard, that's account sharing. Ban him.
He admitted it.
Lol. Lol. So finally we hit max level and we decided we had done a couple of heroics and dungeons. It's like, okay, let's go and do Nax. So all 3 of us got us in the sky, but we went to Nax.
Behold the spider wing.
Behold the spider wing.
You had fun with that final boss.
We did the first wing, no problem, no issue, and then we went to the spider wing. And you just see him just go, oh!
I mean, I'll be honest. I am borderline arachnophobia myself, and that final boss, that big old spider.
Oh, the giant
just kinda,
spider.
Maxina.
Just kind of creeped me out like no tomorrow. And then when she does the attack where the number of the party members get tied to the web, I was like, what's happening here?
That's
Help me, Jesus.
What?
The best part was that he was so scared he couldn't even move. So I, as a friend of mine as I am, I whisper one tank, tell him to pull 2 packs of them, and then pull them all the way straight towards him.
Oh my god. You're an asshole.
That is so many different types of wrong.
It was the first time I've ever heard him scream like a girl. And I'm pretty sure he even shat himself.
Smurvy.
Yeah. Oh, no, mine isn't that funny. It's more of the best time I had in the game.
Right.
It's considered. I consider it my best moment. It's about the time I first started, which that's pretty much everybody's best time because you're discovering something new and it's all new to you. But I had joined a guild with a bunch of people who were leveling. This is vanilla WoW. This isn't any Burning Crusade or anything like that. This is before all that. And the leveling progress was a lot slower, as we all know. And being new to the game, I didn't really know anything. Okay, I've got 2 stories. The first one's not funny. The second one's funny. The first one, I didn't really know anything about the game, which made the whole process a lot more fun to learn all that stuff and whatnot. So I joined this guild, and the guild's name was Good Stuff. The guild leader was a French Canadian. He spoke mostly French, but had a thick English accent or American accent, whatever.
We don't talk about those guys.
He great guy. We did most of the guild was a leveling guild because at the time it was a newly formed guild. Some of them already had level 60s, but this guild was mainly for their alts, if they had any, or anybody else that was leveling for the first time. And we got to the point in, I don't remember what zone it was. I want to say the hinterlands. But I could be wrong on that. It's the zone where you have to. Back in the day, they were all elites, and it was to get the riding stick for.
The carrot
on the stick thing.
That was
that was back when. Yeah, and they were
Uh,
all elites. That nobody really wanted to do it, but they wanted to do it so they could do the boss kind of thing. Like it took forever. You had to have 5-man group. It was basically an instance within itself. You have to travel all the way to the top. There was no quest to fly up to the backside of it like there is now. So you start at the bottom. You killed all the elites. You went up there. You got your thing. But Man, we had the funnest time doing that. We took like 2 hours just to do it because we were just enjoying each other's company, and it was just probably, like I said, the best time that I can remember because this is an MMO. It's for playing with other players.
Stop speaking moon speak. I don't even know what you're talking about now.
What do you mean?
MMOs are for social
yeah,
interaction?
isn't that weird?
That's weird.
So anyway, that was the best time I ever had, and it wasn't just that. It was basically the whole time that I was in the guild. We always leveled together, always did quests together, instances together. We had our instant 5-mans. We didn't have to pug or anything like that. Of course, there was no looking for groups or anything like that. So it was really awesome. It lasted for about 3 or 4 months, and then my brother got back from overseas, and we started doing stuff together on his server. But yeah, that was definitely the best time. Anyway, the funniest time, and this is basically poking fun at myself. As you know, like I said, back when it first started.
Over Deathwing's back?
No, this was before Deathwing was even thought of. Well, he may have been thought of, but you know what I mean. So my first character. This is my first character ever, which was a shaman, and I think I still have that character somewhere on one of the servers. I don't know, but first character ever, shaman. This is back when you had to do the totem quests to get your totems.
Yeah.
And somehow I missed the very first one, which was weird because I don't know how I missed it because it was part of the quests. It was a normal thing. The little thing popped up and you go do the quest, but somehow I totally missed it. Left the zone. I was probably level 22 or 23. I might have been 28, maybe. I don't know. It was somewhere around that time. I was with the same guild, and we were doing an instance together. Whatever instance it was that was at that level. I think we were doing WC. So I don't know. Whatever. I was doing an instance, and the guild leader who was in the group. We had TeamSpeak or Skype or whatever it was at the time. Raid call. I don't think it was back then. But anyway, we were all in a group and doing our stuff, whatever. And,
I think you told me this one. I remember this one.
Yeah, I probably did. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos, but the guild leader was like, "Okay, why aren't you dropping any totems? We need, the fear totem or whatever. We need some totems." This is what I said. What's a totem? I'm a shaman at level 26, 27, 28 something, and I asked the question, "What's a totem?" The guild. There was a long silence with everybody in the party. It was like 5 of us, so 4 other people.
I think I met you before I knew you. So,
oh, you ran across somebody like that?
Yes, I did.
But there was a long pause, and then all of a sudden, everybody just burst out laughing.
You've been kicked from the guild.
No. This wasn't the kind of guild you'd be kicked from. It's that kind of guild. Everybody looks out for everybody. They help everybody. It wasn't. Oh, you fucked up. Bye. It wasn't like that. We were friends, and so I was like, I was kind of shocked. I was like, why is everybody laughing? Then I was like, okay, I'm a noob, whatever. I was like, yeah, laugh it up. I'm a noob. I don't know what a totem is. Haha. Anyway, so after the instance run, the guild leader took me back to where all the quests were, and I got my totems and I learned all about totems. And also along that line, I was in my 40s, maybe level 40 something ish. I don't think I was with that guild anymore. I may have been. I don't remember. But somebody ran up to me, and I guess he inspected me or whatever, because I guess he didn't like the way I looked. I don't know. But it's just some random player, and then he was like, "Your gear's all over the place." And little did I know that I was like, "Well, I'm only level 40. I'll level out of that soon. So there's I don't care about sets and stuff at this level." And he was like, I didn't hear anything from him, and it was like several months later that I realized what he was saying was that as a DPS shaman, I had some healing gear, I had some DPS gear, I had some tank gear, I had some just random gear, because all I was looking for at the time was
better stats.
No, HP, because I knew that was health. I wanted health. I didn't want to die. So I didn't know anything about agility. I didn't know anything about intellect. I didn't know what went with what went with where. You get the idea. So at the time, I thought he was referring to my gear didn't match, like it didn't look the same.
Oh wow!
So I didn't say anything to him. I was like, the only thing I said was like, I'm gonna level out of it really quick. I don't care what it looks like, whatever. But I guess he probably just laughed at me and left.
Do
But I seriously didn't know what he was talking about until later when I realized, wait a minute, that guy looked at my gear and saw all this intellect and all this, strength or something, and like it was like I don't even remember what I had. I just remember seeing HP boosts, so I went with those. I didn't know what the stats were for.
When you said you'd level out of it, I guarantee the guy was just all like, "This guy's high on meth."
Or he'd be like, with that gear,
He's
you
gotta
won't.
be.
He was probably thinking, with that gear, you won't level out of it.
You won't level. You won't even level.
But I remember, and along that, one more thing, along that, this is it, trust me. I was in, I want to say Desolates? No, whatever zone it was near the water, and I saw this mage come up, and, I was doing my quest, but it was taking me forever to kill things, because, my gear wasn't right. So it was taking forever to kill stuff. And this mage comes up and, like, gathers, like, 20 mobs, and just downs them in, like, seconds, and I'm like, I'm going to re-roll a mage. Because obviously this mage is doing some really cool stuff, and he's leveling fast. But of course, if I had the wrong gear with the mage, it wouldn't have worked. But
Strength gear.
That was back when AOE leveling with a mage was a thing. Like, it was a huge thing.
Frost Nova, Blizzard,
Yeah.
rinse and repeat.
Yep.
And I didn't know
Arcane
about that. I was just like, this dude is taking out all this stuff, and it takes me 5 minutes to kill one.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm done. That's my stories.
Oh, this is good.
Where should I start? I got a few, but
I mean, if you want me to, while you're thinking, I can tell the quick one.
I got one. This one is the most.
I think I know what it is.
This one has been disrespected in the worst way.
Oh God, this one.
This is going to be new to me because I don't think I've heard it.
No, you.
This was Lich King. During Lich King, we were basically the second best raiding guild on the server. This new rogue. I remember his name now. His name was Tall Kid. TALLKID.
Wasn't it Bloody Feet?
No. That's the next story.
That's the other one.
We geared this rogue from 1 to 70. He geared him. He leveled up. We were already on doing hardcode mode on Lich King. We geared him from. He was the number 1 rogue. Just put it like that. We geared him up so quickly. He became the number 1 rogue on the server. About a month later, he starts talking shit in the guild, and then says thank you for all the fat loots, and then leaves guild and leaves server.
Wow.
That was, I have to put that one as the most disrespectful. Actually,
but I came back a couple months later, so.
Actually, I was gonna tell the Bloody Feet story, but there is another Bloody Feet story that's funnier. But besides the ego one, there is a Bloody Feet story where, and actually it's in one of my videos, Fun Raid ×2, I believe, where we were just goofing on him because he was just a stupid kid. He must have been like, I don't know, 10 or 11.
I'm 10!
And all of a sudden, his mother gets on.
Oh,
and she's like, so I hear you're making fun of my kid. And he's like, yeah, because he's saying stupid things. And he's trying to kick it to this girl that we had. This other mother, she had a daughter raiding with us, and he's trying to kick it to her. And then instead of the mother going off on us, she started insulting her own son. On the stream. She started making fun of him left and right. It was the best time ever. I was like, we got scared because we thought,
this kid's gonna get abused.
Uh-oh, it's mom.
It's mom. He's just gonna go after us, but no, she just turned the tables and started going off on her own son.
I wish I was there.
Oh man, I mean, there's so many more. I mean, there's parts. There was original Bloody Feet where his ego became so big because he got the two-handed axe off of the first boss in 25-man ICC. Once he got that, his ego blew up and he left guild, joined another one of the other competitive hardcore raiding guilds, and he sucked, so they kicked him, and he wasn't welcome back in our guild. So
I thought you were gonna tell the other one where you were disrespected.
which one?
The One where your wife had to defend you from a certain other person's significant other.
Ooh.
I mean,
don't
you
wanna
know what
talk
one I'm
about
talking
that.
about.
There's so
I'm not gonna
many. I don't remember.
Really been disrespected that many times?
Yeah, he's been disrespected a lot. Before we end, can I just tell the one that you've been hinting at? Where I disengage off of Deathwing's back?
Oh, yeah, you can. Because that...
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys right now that I am by no means a bad player. But what I did one day, because I was having troubles with my other guild that I was with. There was a guy who was being a complete and total asshole to me. I just said, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? You can't fucking sit down and take jokes and roll with the punches. I'm going to be fucking gone. So I left.
You know what? Fuck you, Hal. I am not the battered housewife. Whenever you have problems with your other guilds, you come back to me.
I did. Anyway, I come back to him. Anyway, long story short, I'm sitting there, we're raiding. Tor's like, Hal, hurry up and get over here. Hurry up and get over here. I'm not moving. Tor's like, okay, what's going on, Hal? I'm like, hold on. Someone's fucking messaging me from this other guild. Well, I'm sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, I am typing. I hit disengage off of my bar, and flew off of Deathwing's back. Didn't get dropped off. Flew off of Deathwing's back.
Flew.
Anyway, I flew off.
Fly.
I flew off of Deathwing's back, and Tor goes, "Okay, well that's okay. We'll res you up after the fight's done." I didn't get to the end of the fight because he's all like, "Are you coming back?" I'm like, "No, I got to go over to this other team speak for a second because they're asking me to come over for a second." I come over there, and what do you think? That guy that was being an asshole went and told the guild leader and all the officers that I was cyber molesting a 15-year-old in the guild.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Why
was
would
at that point.
Why were you doing that?
It was at that point when I come over to
We know
Tor.
that he would do something like that.
I come over to Tor and I'm like, I told Tor this. He's all like, well, they're fucking assholes and all this stuff. And I'm like, Tor, you've got yourself a new hunter. And he's all like, oh, we're full on hunters. Because I disengaged off of Deathwing's back.
But you made my number 3 spot. I'm just gonna really quickly go this. There's 3 spots on the most stupidest things I've ever seen in WoW. Hal took the 3rd spot with disengaging on Deathwing's back. The number 2 spot goes to Eerie for in a PvP match. She disarmed a warlock. No, a mage. Nalagag.
That's
Warlock.
Me. A warlock. That's me.
Oh, it was a warlock. Disengaged a warlock's weapon. Okay? You're not going to make a difference. And the number 1, I'm going to end it with this. The number 1 most retarded thing I've ever seen in WoW was my friend Rigo. He is an undead warlock that drowned.
Yes! His RP story was he's an undead warlock that drowned and came back as a blood elf death knight.
He comes back, dude. I'm like, what happened? I drowned. I was like, you're an undead warlock. How the fuck do you drown? I was like, it makes no sense.
How the fuck do you come back as a blood elf death knight? I want to know that.
There's also Hal charging off with the boat.
I'm not a bad player. Even though last night live on the live stream I tried to go into prot stance and hit fucking arm spec.
I watched the VOD. It actually moved it up to arms.
Yeah, as I clicked. I was like,
As you click.
Alright, so we're going to end the stream there. Thank you everybody for coming for this week's Cawfee Talk.
We're glad to have Smurv this time.
Yes.
Yay.
He left his sister and niece for us.
Yes.
I did.
So until next week, tune in. Tell us what you think. If anything, leave in the comments what was your most embarrassing or most memorable moment in WoW or in any MMO.
Yeah.
All right. Till next week. Later.
Laters.
You guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.